Scouser.
Victor, what the hell happened?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, apparently everybody was still asleep at the hotel because, like, for fuck's sake, everybody, it was just like no energy. You know, there's that mad stat out there, something like the last 6 league games we've conceded first or something like that. And it's like, you can physically watch us come out and kick the ball off in a match and wait and see what the other team does and then respond accordingly. And like, that's really troubling to me because, like, I remember when we built our brand on kicking the ball off, like metaphorically wrestling somebody to the ground and then putting our foot on their neck. And like, I feel like that's gone. Like, I feel like we're like the schoolyard bully now that just sees how hard we got to fight before we figure out what we're going to do. And like, that's concerning.
I think that was like the biggest disappointment. I mean, we'll talk about it about like these early games, morning games for us, not as morning for them, but still early games that, you know, we regularly are not good at and definitely do not start them good. That's for sure. But I mean, I think we talked about it last week when we were doing the predictions. My biggest fear was we knew, Gally, that Fulham was going to come out just all hyper back in the Premier League. That place was going to be rocking. We're away. And it felt like we were nowhere near ready to match that intensity.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. They came out and they had great intensity. Their supporters showed up. They got, you know, a big new stand that they're all excited about. And they had a good start to the first 15 minutes of the match. But can we all just like pump the Jets? They didn't play that great. They still started a 33-year-old American at center back. And we made their defense look like they were world beaters for the first 15, 20 minutes. They did nothing. They had the ball. They had possession. They had all the opportunities early. They won every 50-50 challenge. And, you know, for all the talk about the early morning matches, the other team had to get up early in the morning and play as well. And they're also professionals. So this idea that playing at 12:30 lunchtime kickoff game was like a detriment for us and some advantage to Fulham. It looked to me like whatever the pre-match conversation was, it wasn't heard by the players because they did not come out with the same level of intensity as Fulham. And to Paul's point, I think it is 6 matches in a row we conceded first. And the sad part is the last 5 times we were able to come back and win from a losing position. And in this case, we couldn't make that happen. We tried, right? We claw back twice, but ultimately we couldn't. And what's just as alarming to me, these aren't just we concede first. We concede within 10 to 15 minutes of each of these matches. So we're conceding early without even being able to put our imprint on the match. We're already on the back foot. And that's hard enough when teams are playing a low block against you. But when you're giving teams a 1-goal cushion, it makes it a lot easier to put, 10 guys behind the ball. Heck, at times they had 11 behind the ball in the first half.
I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, Fulham didn't play maybe great football, but they definitely had more of the intensity and more of the work rate that, we're supposed to be known for. And it kind of like showed. I mean, that's what those 50-50 balls basically ultimately boil down to, is that intensity, being on it, being alert and all that kind of stuff. And it just was not there. I think for me, the most challenging part was, I mean, we're talking about it on the Discord channel as we were watching the game. It was kind of harder to find decent above average performances. And it was because it seemed like, you can always have players have an off day, or you can have a couple of players off day, but it almost felt like more than half the team was having an off day. Ian is with us. Ian, what's happening? Join the discussion as we try to dissect what happened. Victor, you're the angry man over here. I mean, you look at this like 11, and this is the 11 we expected. This is probably like the best 11 we have right now. We can talk Bobby Nunez, kind of an ordeal, but even before that, I think we all agreed that this will be the lineup, and it just felt like there was literally no one up for it.
It was all wrong. Like tactically, like I didn't think the movement was very good. I didn't think the spacing was very good. Like we were sloppy in possession. Like the possession stats for the first half said we had 72% possession, which is insane considering the fact the first 12 minutes was was played entirely in our own half, like entirely. So like, I don't even know. I mean, that was surprising to me when I saw those statistics, but like, dude, we were second to everything. And you know how Klopp is on winning the second ball. We won none of them. And we didn't even look like we were in the discussion, like to win much of anything. And I don't know, man, like Fabinho was sucked up really high. Like, so the spacing between him and the center backs was like really big. Like, it was really odd, man. Like, everyone looked super lethargic and sloppy. And then just like, I thought our shape was wrong. Like, it was just, none of it was any good.
And despite, like when you came back, sometimes, you feel like, okay, this is what we needed. We're back, we're going. And it just, I'll be honest, it never really felt like that. I felt when we scored and when we like tied it up, it was just like, okay, now is the time, we got to get another one. And it just felt like it never felt like it was about to happen.
Yeah, no, I mean, it didn't. I mean, we'll get into this, right? But like, if we look at the substitutes, that's what changed the match. And that's a major problem when you're bringing in James Milner as the catalyst for change. And he is the guy that jumpstarts everything. And, and Gally can speak to it a little bit because he mentioned it earlier. But yeah, we just started lumping the ball forward to Nunez and like a desperation attempt to get in. And like, it did create some spark, but neither one of those can be the plan going forward. They just can't. It's not sustainable in terms of James Milner, but it's not the way we play football in terms of Darwin. And it just, it's nice to see we got some of those changed, but it's just odd, man. Like it's just the whole thing was strange in general. So, I mean, let's hope we got the dust knocked out of that and we can move on. But like, dude, like, you shouldn't. This is supposed to be a revenge tour. I mean, this is supposed to be the year that we go out and win the league. And like, you can't have a side that needs G'ing up before the first match of the game. We talk about mentality monsters, and I don't know, man. It's really disappointing to see that sort of mindset come out because that's all it can be. That's got to be a mindset going out, and to just be that lethargic, that lackadaisical, and spend 65 minutes figuring out how to actually get some effort in.